Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandragon's Cave. Today we are going to be talking about Usopp from One Piece, and at the moment is known as God Usopp for all the adventures that he had in Dressrosa, etc., and the rise up of the wanted poster as well and everything. So I want to talk a little bit about Usopp and in connection with the Davy Back Fight. I think the Davy Back Fight is one of those sagas that most people would say is kind of the weakest, or some people would say that this is something that we can skip, it's not important, it's not relevant. I've been talking in my videos about, if you've seen the previous ones, about ancient weapons, and I've been talking a little bit about the future of some of the characters, how can they connect going forward and heading to Elbaf. I think Elbaf, we've been making this construction of Elbaf since the very beginning of the story. And Usopp is this character who is always talking about it, always wants to go there. When he's always connected with the giants, he's always connected with those brave warriors of the sea, and that's his dream. So, obviously, I mentioned a couple of times before in the videos that I think Ragnarok in the Norse mythology is kind of the apocalypse and the end of the world in Norse mythology, and I think that's what's gonna happen in Elbaf, because Elbaf, the giants, represent this culture, the Norse culture. So we're gonna have, I think we're gonna have these three groups of pirates: Luffy's group, then Buggy's group with Crocodile and Mihawk, and Blackbeard. So these guys, I think they are not gonna fight as such in a battle like Marineford. I think they are gonna go for Davy Back Fight type of fight to connect Foxy's saga. The Davy Back Fight was created, is explained by Robin in Hachinosu, and Hachinosu is actually Blackbeard's lair, his island. The island that he wants to, in theory, convince the government to become an official kingdom as well and everything. So I think what's gonna happen regarding Davy Back Fight is we are gonna have these groups connecting in Elbaf, and Blackbeard, that is the trickster, is one of Oda's favorite characters, is gonna show up probably last minute, and he's gonna challenge the other groups to a fight. Even if he's so powerful at the Jonko level, or having multiple fruits and having a super strong crew, I don't think he's a direct fighter. I think we have seen him only encountering or challenging the enemies when they are weakened by something else, or they are, on the ropes by something. So I think when we do the matchups, people talks all the time about, okay, this is gonna be Usopp's rival, Zoro's rival, Luffy's rival, and I think that's totally fine, but I don't see an end of a story fight for Usopp having to fight from the distance, a sniper duel with Van Auger from Blackbeard Pirate, if we follow this idea that Blackbeard and Blackbeard's group is gonna be the final villain of the story for them. So I see more this game type of rivalry. If you put the three groups together, Blackbeard, Luffy, and Buggy, and you do these games that whoever wins can take one character from the other group, etc., even the flag, even the captain. So what I think is going to happen is the following. You're going to have several games, and all of this started by Blackbeard. And in these games, probably some of the characters are gonna shift. In this case, probably I think if Nico Robin doesn't end up leaving now in Egghead with Blackbeard. Check out my previous videos about Blackbeard and you will understand why I'm saying this. But if she doesn't end up going with Blackbeard now, or being kidnapped by Blackbeard now, I think there's a little bit of a chance that this may happen in the Davy Back Fight against them. And like we've seen that happening already in Foxy Saga. It will be very interesting to see a Robin that doesn't want the group to be worried about her, and she can handle the situation. And in this case, having lost her again, and Luffy keeps playing the game, everyone keeps fighting, they want to recover Robin, but then Luffy loses a game. And that will be really interesting, because it is said in the Foxy Saga that only a captain can challenge another captain. So if they agree and they shoot the gun at the air, the duel is agreed, and so everyone needs to follow. So what I mean with this is, imagine the situation that for whatever reason Luffy is fighting or Luffy is playing this game with someone, and then Blackbeard wins and he asks for Luffy. This happened already with Foxy. When Luffy's group won in one of the games, and then they were saying, oh, actually, if we ask for Foxy, the game is over, no? Because we don't have to keep playing, they don't have captain. And they were like, everyone was like, no, don't do that, oh, boo, boo. Everyone was kind of mocking, and they didn't want, they wanted to keep playing and to keep seeing what's going to happen with the games, no? I think that was like this kind of feeling saga, but that moment I think it was really important to me, because it was telling me this can happen, and this can happen to Luffy. So in that case, if playing Davy Back Fight against Blackbeard, against Boogie and Crocodile, Luffy loses and ends up going to I think we're gonna make the armor maybe here like this. This Usopp, I'm trying to do the one from Enies Lobby, is one of my favorite sagas, and when he fights Luffy and everything, and I think it's really emotional, and there's a lot of character development for Usopp. In a bit I will talk about Usopp, but I want to just kind of lay the idea of this video, that it's connecting Usopp with the Davy Back Fight and the importance of this situation. And let's think about this. Luffy is gone. Now he belongs to the Blackbeard Pirates for a very short amount of time, because when Blackbeard thinks that everything is on his favor, Luffy's group is being defeated, they can't keep playing, and then one of Usopp's biggest lies is gonna become real. That's Captain Usopp, him being a captain. I see this scene of Blackbeard and the group leaving the scene, leaving that area of the game, and going to the ship, but then you have this gun shooting to the sky, like boom, and then he's turning around, and you hear something like kind of, I, Captain Usopp, I challenge you to a Davy Back Fight, to recover Luffy, obviously, and to recover Robin, obviously. And just thinking about it, I have shivers, because all Usopp's lies have been becoming real. Like, we have this giant goldfish at the end of at the end of Little Garden when they try to escape and everything. And I think Usopp, Luffy is the main character obviously, and Zoro is kind of the secondary character, main character as well. But I think the biggest development and growth as a character is for Usopp all the time. All the time. He's the most human. Apart from Nami, he's the most human. And having him challenging to a duel a Jonko in Elbaf with multiple pirate crews looking at this situation, seeing him, I think that will be really crazy. I'm gonna change the style of the shoes because I always like to do my shoes like this, like pointy. And Usopp is always with round shoes, that is kind of his signature. But I like to do this a little bit more my design, and I always try to do this type of boots. Even I'm gonna change the top as well, like plain. I like it more plain like this. So if the whole One Piece manga, given that moment of Davy Back Fight, of Ragnarok in Elbaf, of these games, Hunger Games, now all the games with the Terrobitos, all this kind of game, Usopp is really kid. He's really a kid character. He's really joking, he's really mocking, he's really making fun, he's really playing around all the time. So if you actually see this in him, it will make totally sense for me that he takes the lead in these games and he shoots at the sky when the game is over to challenge Blackbeard to a second duel. And Blackbeard can turn around, like, you are no captain, you don't have any crew, you can't challenge me, you can't fight, or you can't play these 3 games against me being just only one person. And then Zoro, Nami, Robin, etc., Chopper, they kind of work up this Usopp character, like, yes, he's our captain now that you have Luffy, we are the Usopp Pirates, and yeah, we're challenging you to a fight. That will be so amazing, and you could see even this kind of Sohekin spirit that he develops after the Water 7 saga to go to Enies Lobby, this epicness that Usopp has. And I think all the giants looking at him performing this act of bravery, I think that's the point when he becomes great warrior of the sea. And following this whole god concept that they are giving him, in Norse mythology you have Odin, and Odin is called the Old Father, god of all gods. If you pay attention to that comment, I think it's kind of following the next step for Usopp to follow, to be god of gods. It could even be something like Usopp Old Father, a reference for that, to level up a little bit now that they are playing with all this concept. I was thinking about this the other day, like, if I have to pick a character for me from One Piece, from the main group, who can be maybe my favorite, most people can think, okay, this is gonna be Luffy, this is gonna be Zoro, blah blah blah, and yeah, they are kind of some of my favorite characters as well. But I think Usopp has something more human, as per having to prepare his own tricks, fighting with a kid weapon that is this pachinko and everything. And I find it so interesting that this human is able to, at the beginning of the story, by himself defeat Gyojin, for example. And the character, how he's scared about everything, how we, like humans, normal people, we are scared about things, and then how he faces all these things and overcomes when he's completely, utterly destroyed in Arabasta, for example, fighting with Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas. He's completely destroyed, but he's not gonna allow that someone is mocking his captain, his friend, Dream. And I think probably for me Usopp is the most epic character in One Piece. The most human and the most epic at the same time. And I love that about him. So obviously they are gonna give him a lot of importance in Elbaf. And what I know for sure is that Oda is not gonna miss the opportunity of giving him this kind of leadership role that he deserves since the very beginning. And I think if this Ragnarok in Elbaf, Davy Back Fight, even involving ancient weapons, please go and check out my previous videos to understand why I'm saying these things, because I think Boggy and Crocodile are gonna end up having these kind of mechanical weapons that I explained in the previous videos. But if you think about it, let's do the details like this. So we have, he's all wounded here from Water 7, from Franky, from Luffy. In this drawing, I want to try to draw him. I love Usopp's pre-time escape design. Like when I done my Franky video, I think the most. I think it shows him more weak, and I think it's more. It sounds to me more human. I like the epicness in Usopp, but I think this pre-time escape design is really intense. It's really intense because it shows the contrast. But well, as I was saying, think about this. Think about Blackbeard challenging Luffy, challenging as well probably Crocodile's group, Boogie's group. And then what happens here is that in the first fight, in the first game, Luffy is so excited about playing, like we've seen in Foxy's saga. He's so excited about playing that he completely loses the game, because a silly thing, already Blackbeard has planned all this thing to win with such trickery and being so easy the win that no one is gonna expect it. And I see Nami and I see Chopper with the mouth open, like oh my god, what are we gonna do now? And then Zoro not being able to do anything because he's like a fighting person. He's not the brains there is Sanji. And then Sanji as well being blocked because that was a super unexpected thing to happen. And then you have this character that is in a second panel shooting the gun, saying, Blackbeard, Yonko Blackbeard, I challenge you to a duel, and the Usopp pirates are gonna defeat you. And then everyone is frozen, no one knows what's going on. And one by one they start recognizing Usopp as the captain. We know that Zoro is the first in command, but it's actually never been defined or explained or expressed or anything there. So I think that role belongs to Usopp. To be totally honest, that role belongs to Usopp. And when Luffy is in dire need, Usopp is gonna race, he's gonna be the brave warrior of the sea that he is, and he's gonna challenge him. Let's do second line, because he's wrapped tops to bottom in this saga. So we're gonna make this wrapping, and we're gonna make the sticker there as well. First fight of the Davy Back Fight against Blackbeard. Luffy fights, or he plays, let's say, against Blackbeard, or even against his most the weakest, let's say the weakest for Blackbeard, whoever it's gonna be. Let's say the blue Eno of of Blackbeards, no? This first fight that Luffy is gonna try to fight, but unexpectedly he loses. So Usopp is doing this, and then they need to recover Nico Robin, and they need to recover Luffy, so they need to win not just one, they need to win twice. And then you have crocodiles involved there, and Mihawk is involved there. So you have Usopp saying, okay, first game we challenge you to single combat, swordsman against swordsman, and probably you have the 3 swordsmen in this case. That will be really interesting. It can be Mihawk, it can be Zoro, and it can be Shiryu. Or my preferred way of this going is that while all these tragedies are happening, like Luffy is losing, Nico Robin is gone, now Luffy is gone as well, they don't know what to do, Usopp is taking charge. While all of this chaos is happening, Blackbeard as well in the same games on 3 sides, he challenged as well Mihawk to a duel, but we already know by that point that Vista from Whitebeard, please check my video about Vista, it's with Blackbeard group since the very beginning. So then, if you have this game in what Mihawk is defeated by Vista, Zoro can't intervene, or even killed by Vista, Zoro can't intervene because these are the rules of the Davy Back Fight, you can't mess with someone else's game, and then a new challenge is born for Zoro, and all of this is happening under God Usopp or All Father Usopp command while everyone is watching. And obviously we need to have this tension, but at the end of the story Usopp needs to win to recover Luffy and to become again the Strawhat group, and for Nico Robin to come back as well. So this can go in these ways. I was thinking about it always. I had this in the back of my mind. Okay, Davy Back Fight is gonna happen again for sure, 100% sure. Davy Back Fight was born in Hachinosu, Blackbeard Island. He's stationed there since these 2 years time. Before that island belonged to, I think, is one chief from the Rocks Pirates. So the Rocks Pirates, I think they were created, or they were together because some of these pirates, strong pirates, were won by Davy Back Fight instead of fighting. They need, for the end of the story, to create this piratey feeling, and we know that Boogie and Blackbeard, as I see in my previous videos, they are the most piratey characters that we have in One Piece. And there's the hand here, and later the hand will have this thing that Usopp has on the hand. Is this like that? Yeah. So the most pirate looking in One Piece is Blackbeard and then Boogie, and coincidentally are Oda's favorites. So what we know is that whatever is gonna happen with them now, going to the end of the story, is gonna be really connected to the real pirate world lore. And in this case, the Davy Back Fight and the legends of the Davy Back Fight are really big in One Piece, as we see in Foxy Saga. Let's see. I think all of these characters are gonna connect in Elbaf, and all of them have their own agenda, and they want to go to Elbaf for different reasons, but at the end goal is the same. It's to become king of the pirates and find the One Piece. So as I always say, the end of the story, Luffy is not saying I'm gonna be the next king of the pirate. He's saying I'm gonna be the king of the pirates. And if you go back in time and you see the references from his crew, they don't say Luffy is gonna be the next king of the pirates. They say Luffy is gonna be the king of the pirates someday. That is telling me that maybe it's something like in Naruto, no? A little bit, that you have these challenges or you have this kind of duty or friends that he needs to save, or things that he needs to do that are more important than becoming king of the pirates. So all of these friends are gonna help him to become king of the pirates. So he needs to be able to save them. That's why maybe it's kind of a little bit of postponed, I think, the Luffy, and maybe you have temporarily for a very small amount of time Buggy becoming king of the pirates. I see that 100%. And or even Blackbeard for a very small amount of time to become, and then you have later when everything is clear, when everything is kind of good for our guys and for the end of the story, for a positive good of the story, and then Luffy comes in and he becomes the king of the pirates. So I think we need crisis. So far Luffy now is being really the best. No one can actually defeat him so far. We've seen him that he has these drawbacks with the new gear, with the awakening form and everything, but as I said before, the challenge is gonna come now. The challenge comes with Blackbeard, and the challenge comes with unexpected situations. Let's do this boats like this, yeah, like that, and now we're gonna do this one here as well. Get a bit of calf there, and this. So 1 second, I just want to focus here in this, to the shoes. Yeah, looking really nice like this. Yeah, I like it. So, as I was saying before, I've been thinking a lot about Usopp's lies, everything becoming reality, everything being like, you know, this kind of child game for him since the very beginning. Like, he wants to play pirates always, he wants to be captain, he's always scared. He's the real. I think he's like us. He's like a fan of the pirates that is going into this adventure and he's scared and he needs to do all these things. So let's try to do a little bit this, because he's wrapped from the top to the bottom. So let's do kind of wrapping all over the place like this. Okay. Here too. I see more and more this Usopp character developing as a hero, unexpected hero. Blackbeard, it's all about destiny and what's gonna be in the future. So everything kind of is written, and he says like he's talking about the dreams. Luffy like Usopp, they are both dreamers. They are the dreamers of the group, and we have this this kind of development. It goes really tight with Blackbeard's comments all the time. So we know, let's do the fingers here as well and the hand. We know all of this is happening with Usopp really fast. The reward, the wanted poster that he has since Rosa, it's rocketed. It's been going up and up and up all the time. and I think it is really interesting that they are showing this. I think Elbaf is the saga that Usopp is gonna challenge Jonkos, is gonna fight one-to-one with this, with that. Maybe he's even have to defeat Loki or whatever line they wanna follow. I think I wanna do a video about this as well. I talk about Davy Back Fight, I want to talk about Usopp a little bit, but yeah, basically it's about Usopp, Davy Back Fight, and what we can expect from him in the future. I think we finish Wano a little bit confusing because what is going on with Big Mom? Big Mom, Luffy promised that he will defeat Big Mom. But Big Mom so far is dead, no? Or Kaido, they are dead as well. Right. So what I think is gonna happen here is at the same time you are gonna have this this Big Mom character showing up in Elbaf, because her story, Big Mom's story, needs to have a closure in Elbaf as it started, and needs to have a last encounter with she's connected to the giants. She's been, all the catastrophes that she's done and whatever happened with the giants, all of those things need to be addressed. I think she's gonna end up there, and everyone is gonna see there that probably Usopp's rival, big rival in that, not a big rival, but the rival there is gonna be Big Mom. It's gonna be Big Mom, and Usopp is gonna be able to defeat her even with one shot. So something happens there, and as well, Usopp will awaken Haki, the Haki of the Conqueror's Haki there as well, because we've seen this lie that he says in Wano, that he comes really epic with all black silhouette, with everyone fainting, and then he says, oh, that's my Haki, I mean, that's my Haki, but actually it's Big Mom that is behind him in the other floor, is kind of making everyone faint and everything, and it is so funny. I think these things are gonna happen, and Usopp is basically in the middle of this evolution, and I think it's great, and I think it's beautiful. Let's do these boots. The boots are always kind of greenish, yellowish. We do like this. I like it like this. And I see the situation of the Davy Back Fight happening. Usopp taking the lead there. Blackbeard not expecting that and starting to lose against Usopp pirates, and then recovering Robin, recovering Luffy, being able to form again the Strawhat pirates, and then you have this moment, maybe even at the end, that the Jonko, our previous Jonko, Big Mom, shows up, and then he's able to one-shot Big Mom somehow. That could be very, very interesting, like with the awakening of the Haki or something like that, because Usopp, you want it or not, Usopp is son of Yasopp, and Yasopp is the first person who joined Sang's crew. That means that there's a lot of sleeping power inside of him, and he's gonna do very big things. If you pay attention, nothing happened with the. I'm gonna paint this a little bit blue because it's blue, dark blue, like this. Nothing happens after Dressrosa with the observation Haki that he has. What is going on with that? What is happening with that? So I think we are gonna have a little bit of development of this in Elbaf as well. Let's paint the massive mouth that he has as well, and then it needs this, goes in green. as well. And then this kind of this tone as well. So I love Usopp, and there's a lot of growth in the character, and we always seen him overcoming. I think I'm missing here a piece. We always seen him overcoming the enemies. Okay, there we are. We need a big rival for him, and I think the next step is Jonko level. I think Big Mom will show up in Elbaf. Usopp is gonna be the one saving the giants from her, defeating Big Mom with probably Conqueror's Haki. I expect Conqueror's Haki. Putting this Conqueror's Haki in maybe a hammer or something like that, or in one of the shoots that he is using in the Pachinko as well, in the Kabuto. I hope as well to see a little bit of Sogeking and a discourse there, a conversation between Sogeking and this duality of hero and victim and human and superhuman and that. I think he's gonna take the lead in the Davy Back Fight, because Luffy is gonna be out of the game for a little bit, and he's not gonna be able to do anything. And that's Usopp and Robin, and Zoro is kind of the more honorable. They are gonna say to Luffy, "Hey, you can't cheat here, Luffy. You've been won as a prize by the Blackbeard pirates, so you need to wait, and we trust in your crew that now it's the Usopp pirates, and we're gonna recover you." And I think vice captain is Usopp, and that's what's gonna happen. And I don't see him fighting 1-to-1, as I said before, like in a long range fight with Van Auger. I think that fight can be decided there, showing that Usopp is superior, and the observational Haki is far from whatever Auger can do. I think we're gonna have as well this. Individuality of Usopp, seeing him taking control, seeing him being the leader as suspected for all the lies of Captain Usopp. I think it's the biggest lie that he's ever told, and we are waiting to see that. He was the captain of the Usopp Pirates, the kids, the group of kids, Pima and Tamanegi, etc. in Syrup Village, in his saga. But we are in need of see that Captain Usopp, that brave warrior of the sea, in the real story, in the current story now. And yeah, I think it will be a very beautiful and emotional moment when once again, like in Arabasta, he steps in and says, "No, this is my role, this is my thing to do, this is my duty as vice captain, as in this case Captain Usopp, and I'm gonna fight back to have Luffy back." A lot of people were talking about, oh, maybe we have this kind of situation that Luffy is defeated, or Luffy goes to Impel Down, and we have the inverse, and the group needs to go to Impel Down or to a prison or to Marineford and have a Ace 2.0 and rescue Luffy. I think all of those things can be addressed in a Davy Back Fight, and having Usopp being the leader of this incursion and having to do Usopp these things. I don't think I want to see again a Impel Down saga. I love Impel Down saga, but I don't want to see again the same situation of having to go down, escape, etc. That's something that already happened. And he will be very creative to do these games. And as well, it is true that the Foxy saga is the only one, apart from the Aokiji story, the full Aokiji story there, that he shows up and freezes Luffy and Robin and fights a little bit, and then Luffy there realizes that he needs to train, he needs to fight, he needs to learn everything to be able to fight Logias, and he did, after a while he did. And I think these games are so important in the pirate lore and in the pirate mythology as well, that they give the group always a challenge. This can be the Ragnarok, this can involve Crocodile, Boogie, as I explained as well in my previous videos about Crocodile. I think he's gonna get these mechanical weapons, Pluton battleship and 2 other battleships created by the government to defeat the Clan of D and the real ancient weapons. And he's gonna get that, and the vine, this massive tree, the vine, like in Skypiea, is gonna fall probably on top of the Grand Line, on top of the Red Line where Marejua is, and then Ragnarok is happening and everything, it's a fight. It's gonna be a massive fight there. So basically, let's paint this a little bit like this. So the ears there. Basically, yeah, I expect, this is looking really nice, I'm really happy with the drawing for today. I expect to have Usopp taking the lead, his biggest lie to be becoming reality and true in a Davy Back Fight, in a game that is his speciality, where he can display his abilities. I think he's gonna save the crew, like he did in Thriller Bark, and because of him everyone was able to be able to continue in this Thriller Bark saga against Perona. No one could defeat Perona there apart from him, and I think they are gonna follow the same line with Elbaf. They are gonna face a problem that they can't win, and the only option and the only possible person to be able to do this is gonna be Usopp. And I hope this is gonna be the moment, this Elbaf saga, when he actually becomes this Great Warrior of the Sea, that for me he already is, but for him to feel like that, and his, I think, momentarily, like in Rosa, his wanted poster, his price, the price for his head is gonna go up, maybe even higher than all the people in the saga, higher than Luffy, higher than Boogie, higher than Blackbeard and everyone. And we're gonna have this scene of Harundin raising him and proclaiming him God Usopp again, but true, as a true warrior of the sea, winning and challenging all these enemies. And I think that's gonna be beautiful. And it's one of those cryy moments that sometimes we need in One Piece, that we always had. Sogeking was really epic in Enies lobby, saving Robin and everything. My god, that was so epic when he burns the flag and everything. So we need a little bit more of Usopp doing this. He actually didn't do much, I think, in Wano, in my opinion. In Wano was more a support character, together with Nami and together with Robin. Let's tone down a little bit the lips, because I put a little bit too much of makeup, I think, for Usopp. Like this, I like it more. And we paint it a little bit brown as well on top, like, yeah, that's the color. And I wasn't expecting much from him in this saga. He's done a lot of things, but the saga was focused more in Luffy and Zoro, like Oda is doing lately, and I'm happy with that. But Elbaf, we've been building up Usopp to Elbaf, and yeah, I think we're almost there, and it's gonna be a very, very interesting saga. Let me know what you think in the comments, and what you think about Usopp path and the lies becoming reality, and this possible Davy Back fight against Blackbeard. And let me know what you think about him taking charge and being captain for a short period of time to save Luffy and save everyone. I think the future of the Strawhat pirates is in Usopp's hands, and it will be a very interesting way to do it, and he will have this kind of relevance and importance that he deserves as a captain, so everyone knows that he's the captain there too as well, and that lie is gonna be fulfilled in this scenario against the biggest enemy that they ever faced, that's Blackbeard. Let's do a little bit of dark here as well, to have a little bit of extra volume, because this is white too. Doing it like this a little bit. And yeah, check out my previous video so you understand a couple of the things I'm talking about. Vista, about Crocodile, about the ancient weapons. Vivi is gonna be there as well in this Davy Back fight. Vivi showing up soon for the anniversary of her first appearance as well. She was in Little Garden, and she was with Usopp with the giants, so I expect all of this having Vivi as support character and voice of Usopp in this kind of race of the hero, race of the god. And yeah, please let me know in the comments what's your opinion, and I think for today we are ready. Let's sign here. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want. And I hope you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. And this is the Mandragon's Cave. Thank you very much.